doing? Today I'm going to do some game reviews from a tournament I played. Last Saturday, April 7th, there was Bay Area Go Spring Tournament in Berkeley downtown. Bay Area Go Association organizes these quarterly Go tournaments, and this was my first time to play in their tournament. Something interesting about this tournament was that it's all handicap. I am very used to playing in tournaments with all even, so it was a little strange to find out like different handicaps for different opponents. But I think it actually makes more sense since Bay Area tournament is more of community building, and then we want to improve. It's less about competition, right? So I think it was good, and then I got to meet like new people and it was really fun. There was free pizzas at the lunch break. So if you're in the Bay Area, I highly recommend that you check it out. So let's see, there were 4 rounds, and my first round was against Vanessa. If you have seen my review video from the Juju Cup, you probably noticed that I played with her then, also in the first round. She is 7 dan, and I learned this time that she is an undergrad student at UC Berkeley. She is studying art history, but she is graduating soon, and she is 7 dan, very strong. So yeah, it was nice to play her again. Last time we played even because Juju Cup, the highest division was all even rule, but this time I gave her 1 handicap stone, which meant I took white and I got half point komi instead of 7.5. So let's see the game. She played here, and this time I just recorded as I remembered because I felt lazy. So yeah. And she chose this diagonal opening, and I took the corner, and I was like very conscious that there was no komi and it felt a little strange in the beginning, but later I thought, well, if I play well enough then it should be okay. So black approached here, and I thought about responding to this approach directly, like pincer around here or diagonal move. But I wanted to make the opening a little more dynamic, so I made a counter approach here. And at this point, black could continue on this this corner using like 5-3 joseki, or black could respond to this approach, or black can also tenuki. But in the actual game, black attached here, and I made all these exchanges and then came here. So this one is a little bit inviting black to come around here, because then the game would become somewhat complicated, right? This black group is not safe and this white group is not safe. There's this 1 black stone that can be attacked, etc. Not that this is bad for black, but it's just the kind of game that you can gain something. So that's why I played here, and then black didn't come in, just responded, and I played the upper side. So this is still a good game. Black's doing well. And black approached here. I felt like there wasn't much for me on this right side because this black's corner is very strong, so I pincered. And black often goes into 3-3 point, but after all this joseki again, this side is rather low. So with this corner and that corner, black's like kind of low in the right side, which is not very interesting. And white would probably come over here, build something here in the lower side. So in the actual game, black double approached. It's a good technique to learn. And it gives you many other options. So I attach it here. One Joseki black can use here is to hane and attach. Take the corner, and white could approach from this side or that side. This Joseki over here gives a little more potential for black to get territory on the right side, because as you can see, this one's kind of going up. And also later black can exchange this Atari in Sente. So all this helps. So that was one good option black had. This one is also a very good move, because as I mentioned, white is like not very interested in this right side. But if white blocks here, this one is also kind of Joseki, but not having this exchange is good for black. Like white would love to have this exchange, because without that exchange, black has the choice whether black wants to hane here or play something like this, right? So I didn't really want to play here, so after some hesitation, I blocked on this side. Then this is Joseki sequence over here, and sometimes white plays here, but in the actual game, I played here to kind of attack this one black stone. But then I couldn't really come like this because I still had the weak points here. And after that, black came over here. We are still in the opening. That was Sente exchange, and I'm extending. Over here, black can play something like this. And I would need to kind of fix this because black's so strong on both sides. And after that, black could maybe come around here or hane this one. Maybe hane is an interesting choice. And if white cuts here, black can extend and maybe do something about here. Or just jump. So anyway, this is like one possible opening sequence. You can guess that this is not what happened. So black invaded here. This is the stone on B12. This is helping this invasion. Without this black stone, white can often connect by playing this attachment. But with this B12, black can hane and then extend here. If white comes here, then black can connect to this side. If white takes this one, then black can split this way. So that means white's attaching over here is not really an option. So I attached this side instead, and black took the outside. This is Joseki sequence, and black usually takes around here. So I was expecting this black move and thinking maybe I should come around here after because black's getting so strong. And after that, black could maybe come around here, reducing white's territory. In the actual game, black haned here, which made the game very interesting. Because black didn't answer, I also just saved these white stones. With that, black had to do something about the 3 stones. So black played here. And I was thinking about jumping. But when black responds somewhere around here, I wanted to be able to do something about this black group. But when black jumps out here, this white shape is not really strong. If I do something like this, then black can wedge, which would make the white shape really bad, and then black can easily come out. So to prevent this, I decided to make a Sente exchange before I do all that. If black doesn't respond, then white can capture these two stones. Black cannot connect because of that. And white can capture this one. And these two stones are not a lot of points, but really thick. So black doesn't really want to give these up. Black connected these two stones by playing here, and then I jumped. Here black could also play like diagonal move to capture this one stone, but then white would probably go something like this and keep pushing, or maybe just that. In any case, white can probably connect this one stone to this side, and that would make this black shape not very pleasant. Also, if white is connected all the way to this side, then white suddenly has really good wall on this side. And that's why black responded. And that's like the strongest way you can respond to this side. You know, this is much better than like playing, for example, around here, because after this one, there is this cutting point, right? It gives more pressure to white's shape. So black did that, and I wanted to save the one stone, so I exchanged the pip. Black can't really tenuki here because this cut would be very good for white. And when white jumped, because of this bamboo joint, black can't really come out now. And black played that. Oh, and I think maybe black should have played this one, actually, because that's sent there against the corner. If white doesn't respond, then black can hane and then hane here. I think black has more liberties against this white group, yes. So that means white has to respond and black could live like this. In the actual game, black also lived, but this would have been a better life. You will see why. In the actual game, black played here, and then I exchanged this one, and then blocked. So black still has to live. That's a center exchange, and then you can see black can't go out, so black had to leave. And also here, it was better if black exchanged this one and then lived like this. So one difference between living by playing on A5 is that white has this one stone on A11, which can affect this black's life and death situation later. So if you can, you really don't want to have your opponent's stones like this on the first line. The actual game was kind of worse because black played here, and now white not only got this one, but actually that. Black exchanged this and then lived over here. But when I cut, like black's losing the whole base over here. Black jumped out and then I came here. So this is like to make the black shape without any shape. Black shape. Black shape without good eye space. Maybe that's a better description. So I took it, I'm forcing black to connect, and if black connects here, I'm planning to do this one. And with that, white is all connected through this side. It gives me good territory in the corner, and also because I'm connected, I have less to worry about around here. And black will have to live still. So that's the plan, and black Ataris here. I briefly think about starting a ko by cutting here, but I decided not to because I thought I was happy enough with this plain result. So black managed to cut and make one eye, but I still got to connect like this, and I'm still very happy. Black's group's not quite alive yet, so black attaches here. And when black played here, I made these exchanges. And I'm thinking that although there's no komi, I have like really good territory here now, which looks bigger than this black's territory. And I have this corner and this side. When black has maybe this corner and a few points here and here. So I'm thinking I did a good catch up already. And at this point, I am like super tempted to hane this one. You have no idea how much I wanted to play that hane. But I'm like hesitating because this is not leather after all this. But black can start something around here which can make things a little bit complicated. And especially because there is this leather. And I think this should be sente because usually black will have to leave. But what if black plays something like this, and then when I kill this group, black tries to attack this whole white group. And although I had an intuition that this would be not bad for white, but I didn't want to risk. So after some thinking, I just played that. And the idea was that if black cuts here, then I would just secure the territory over here, and this should be good enough. In the actual game, black attached here, thinking that was not quite enough. And then I extended and black played here. And I was like, okay, I'm really doing it now. So after this white push on Q7, there isn't much black can gain even with the leather breaker. So black cuts here and then tries something on the upper side. But when I pipped here, black resigned. So at this point, if black connects, then I can block. And black's only way to do something is to extend here. And white can hane. And then you can see that black has only 3 liberties. And white also has 3. So now this black group's dead. If black attaches here first, then I was going to play something like this. And you can see that black has to save this group, but then this group has nowhere to go. So yeah, that was not working. So that was the first game, and let's go to the second game. Here I had 3 handicap stones. I gave 3 handicap stones against my opponent, whose name was Troy Zhang. And when I put 3 handicap stones on KGS, it gave me this format, and I didn't know how to edit. So in this game, I had to record from the perspective of black. Anyway, let's see the game. Troy was 4-dan player, and I started with 4-3 point. So this is Joseki, that's quite common. And there's actually something funny to share. So my father is about 4-5 dan, and I play with him on OGS. And I give him 3 handicap stones. So when I started this game, I was thinking, okay, I just need to play like I'm playing dead. And that kind of worked. So anyway, that's Joseki, and then I extended. More common choice over here for white is to play this tiger mouse. And black would often attach and cut white would do this, and Atari, and that, and maybe this. So over here on the upper left corner, this is common Joseki. In the actual game, I chose this one. And the reason why this is more rare than the tiger mouth is that when black has a stone over here, there is this weakness that black can peep here. If white blocks from this side, black would push and then cut from behind. And after this, white doesn't really have two eyes yet. Of course, if white connects here, black can connect. This will be very bad. So that's why this is rare. But I was thinking when I gave 3 handicap stones, I need to get as many points as I can get. So I was trying to make more territory. And when white extends, black often approaches from the other side instead of attaching here. And the difference is that when white plays diagonal move, black can connect underneath. If there was a black stone over here, then if there was a white stone over here, then white could cut this one like this. And that, or like this. So when there is this tiger mouse, black wouldn't play this one. But when white plays here, then this is connected because white can't really do this. Black's Atari over here is very good, like this. If white tries to do that, then black can play this one and connect. So like this, black's almost connected, and that's why black would often choose this one. Another reason is that when black tries to attach and cut, as if white played the tiger mouth, another option white has is to Atari here and block, which I did. This wouldn't be a good choice if white didn't have a stone on B18. If white didn't have a move over here, then black could like push this one and tenuki, right? Let's say black tenukis. And white's blocking over here is still not sente because black has 4 liberties and white has 3 liberties. But with the stone on B18, white can connect these 2 stones. And that's why black can't really tenuki with this one. And black doesn't want to be pushing since black needs to go back anyway. And that's why in the actual game, black played here. With that, I approached it here, thinking maybe I will block this one after. And because this white's shape is pretty good, I'm not worried about black saving this one stone. This fight wouldn't be bad for white. But over here, black moved this stone right away. Maybe black thought this white's shape was rather weak. So black pushes here and then invades. At this point, I want to use the fact that these 3 stones are not very strong yet. So I exchange this one, and if black jumps this way, I was going to attach. Black jumps here, so white goes out. And at this point, I think black needed to play around here, either jump or hane and extend. And then white would block. You can see that white is being connected, but playing over here was necessary. Because in the actual game, black played here, and these 3 stones were captured. Can you see how white may have done that. If you can see it right away, then it would mean you are a really strong player. Maybe like high dan. So in the actual game, I attached here, which made black's shape really painful. So you see black has to come out. If black harness here, then white would play this one, and black cannot save the 3 stones. Black played here, and then white wedges. Black could cut this one. If black plays here, then white can connect, and this is ladder. If black cuts here, then white would block from behind, and then Atari, and then connect. Black kind of needs to connect here, but then when white plays here, black's like in trouble. Because now this one would be dead. If black plays here, then being blocked over here is still bad. So when white played here, black couldn't really save these 3 stones. So black gave that up. And then I got also sente, so I saved this 1 stone as well. Black captured this 1 stone, and then I attach it here. Here I thought black might extend here, and then I was thinking about playing here and maybe something like this. So that was the idea. But black hunted here first, which was very aggressive move. At this point, I didn't really want to just be pushing like this because black was getting very good territory here, and it wasn't like I could attack this group very much, and also I still had to live with this group. So instead of going out, I exchanged this one and then blocked here. At this point, black should have hunted here and connect, and that would force white to play something like this. And black can extend here. White would probably try something like this, and black can Atari and take, and this would be cool, and still not easy for white. Or maybe white would connect this one instead and do that. It's a code thread and that, and black can still connect. And at this point I think white might play here, leaving this one as cool. So yeah, this result would have been not bad for black. In the actual game, black didn't realize the importance of this hane, so just played here, and then I extended. So this extension is looking at this hane and this net. Yes, as miai. You see, like this one, white can capture this black. It's like a net that looks like leather. And in the actual game, black played here and then white hunted. And like this. So here I think even if white just connected, this result would have been good for white. But I was like, I think I can get more than that. So I blocked, and this was cool. But before starting cool, I wanted to make a code thread, because after that, black's taking the code first, and then I didn't really have a good code thread. If I play something like this, then what black can just capture. I could of course play code red something like this, but black would probably take that and come over here to attack this white group. So I wanted to have something more powerful, and that's why I exchanged this cut. Here black really needs to respond somehow, but however black answers, white would still have a code red. So in the actual game, black played here, and then I started a call. And then I played here. So usually it's better to make a code red from this side, but obviously black will connect. And then I can take this one. But I was actually expecting black's code red over here. And because I don't have any other code reds, that would mean I have to take this one. But I felt like this cut over here is so clean. And that's why I thought maybe I would do this. And then if black comes out, this exchange is bad. But when black comes here, I can connect. Because I have another code red here. And I thought being able to connect this one would be like better result for me than like exchanging these bad things here. And that's why I cut here, and then black took this one and I take that. Black made a code red and then took here. I had another code red thanks to this cut. And also the shape is better for me. And then black comes here. At this point, if I had just one more code red, I could play this one, but I didn't really. So I took this one, and then black comes here. But I'm still happy that I can hane this one. If black comes out, then I would need to connect, and I saved at least a little bit over here. I could also consider playing around here and then like make this one in center and maybe attack this black group. But yeah, that didn't seem like really fun fight for me. So I think I probably would connect here and then be satisfied that I saved a little more. Anyway, in the actual game, black cut here, and I think that was a mistake because it was better to extend. And after that, I attarried here, and then black had to come out. Black can't really cut this one because there is this wedge over here. Black would lose these two stones. You could also wonder what if black plays here, because if white wedges, then this is leather, right? But actually it doesn't work for black, because when black extends, white can push this one. Looks like a bad move, but it works. If black harness, then white can now wedge. There is no leather. If black extends somewhere around here, then white can play just something like this, and when black connects, white can push here and get these 4 stones. So that's why black pushed on this side, and I exchanged this one and then extended. Over here, when white harnessed, so either I think black should jump this one, or here black should have climbed like this. In the actual game, black cut here, and that was another mistake, because white in the corner has 7 liberties and black only has 6. And when white extended here, If black doesn't get any of the outside white, then black would die in here. And that's actually what happened. Black's extension over here is sente, but the problem was that black couldn't block this one. If black extended here, then white already has 6 liberties. So when white comes over here, this black group is captured. That means black had to hane here, but white would cut this one and then cut that one. Black will have to take this one, and when white extends, these 3 stones are dead. If black jumps, then white would wedge. This is ladder, like this. And if white jumps on this side, then white would cut like this. And this is another ladder-like net. And if black attaches here, then white would do this. And it's similar, still dead. So that's why black couldn't really do this. And black played this cut. Black played this cut, which was kind of probing move. If white answers this way, then black can actually do this one, because at this point I can't really do this. You see, I can't Atari. So at black's cut, white had to respond this way, and black still can't block this side. So that's why black pushed this side, and then I hane. And that was not a good exchange. And black was trying to kind of do something, but it wasn't quite working. So this one space jump is kind of forcing white to leave, and then like looking at somehow surrounding the outside white. If black can get like sente surrounding all the outside and then block here, then maybe black would have a chance with a very strong wall outside. Because although black died over here, that's not that big of territory yet. But the problem was that before white leaves, I could exchange this one, and after this exchange, there was no easy way for black to surround this white. So after that, I played here, which is to save this white group. It's good to exchange all this before actually white makes the 2 eyes. So I did that, and black tried to do something, but it wasn't quite working. There were some weak points around here. And then when black played here, I took a sente and then came out here. So with white poking out here, black's wall over here is losing its value already. And at this cut, I was like forcing white to connect this one, but this way was better because actually this black group is not alive yet, and black had to come over here. If I connected this one, then when black played here, I still had to come back. If I don't, black can do this, and it looks like white has more liberties, but at this point white can't do this or that. So actually this capturing race is in black's favor. But I could do this, and then when black played here, I could tenuki. So when white came here, the game was actually kind of over. like white has this corner and this side, and black doesn't really have good territory. Also, this corner is like not very good. So after this, black played somewhat more, but after some time black resigned. So this game was very interesting in that there were very complicated fights around here in the corner and on this side, and maybe early on with these 3 stones. But black made a few mistakes, and after that he didn't really have a chance. So that was the second game. Let's go to the third one. So in the third round, I gave 4 handicap stones and no corners for me. I start with approach and take the side. I like this white formation over here in handicap games because I feel like there are many hidden variations in these forms, and there are things that I can try. So you'd often see I do this in handicap games. And black takes the corner, I take another side, and black comes here. When black makes these corner shapes in handicap games, it makes me really kind of stressed because it's strong and then it makes my shape a little weak. So it means it's a good move. And I take another side and black comes over here. I think about jumping out, but then when black responds, I don't really see a good follow-up. So instead of making that exchange, I just place that. And black invades. A safe move over here would be either like taking this corner or that corner. And that would give me a tough game. But I think you learn more when you play handicap games if you play as if it's an even game. But yeah. Anyway, so black invades here. And then I jump because I don't want black to be connected to the corner. And also after this jump, it gives me some possibility to invade the corner later. Black exchanges this so that white cannot connect to this side and then jumps out. I have to jump out because otherwise I would be locked in. And black exchanges the corner and jump out again. Here I peeped over here, hoping black would connect, and I was going to jump. This is to kind of make black's group a little heavier, and also because if black comes around here, black would be making more elastic shape, so I wanted to prevent that. But of course it's not bad for black. Black can still jump somewhere around here. In the actual game, black played here, which I thought was a good move. I couldn't really extend here because then after that, this would be not good for white. And I didn't want to hane because I didn't know what to do when black cuts here. So after some thinking, I tenukid and come over here. This is kind of sente. And black responded, and at this point I still didn't know what to do, so I just cut here. If black harnessed that, then white would cut, and at least this is not leather, so black will have to connect something like this, and I could extend, making some strong shape around here. Then when black tries here, I can keep fighting. Black can't really cut this white off easily because of like that. So black harness without this exchange, which I think is better, and then connects. and I jumped over here to come out. And although white's shape here looks very thin, it's not easy for black to cut it off because white's coming over here is almost sente anytime. White's cutting over here on C3 would be very good for white, so black will probably need to connect. And this exchange kind of makes the white's shapes more or less connected. At this point, black could try to cut white something like this, but then white would exchange this one and then play here, and then play like this. At this point, if black starts ko, white takes the ko first, and there's no ko threat that white would respond to. For example, this pip here would be usually a big ko threat, but white would take this one and then come over here. This would be too much damage for black. So black couldn't really start ko, and that's why black didn't attach this one. So played here. And at this point, I don't want to be going like this. Not very interesting. And this one also I felt like not too interesting. So I exchanged this hane and then pipped, which is sente, and then played here. Usually black would connect and then I was going to come out. There is the pip over here, and then maybe I will see if I can do something around here. One problem is that white shape around here is very thin, and maybe there are ways for black to cut something off. So I'll have to be very careful. But at least black's this group is not alive yet, and there's some hope of attacking these 3 stones. So I was hopeful. In the actual game, black thought this shape was too thin, so black tried to cut right away. But it was an overplay because when white took this one, I could cut here. At this point, it was rather late for black because black didn't have that many liberty. White's only weakness is over here, but white could Atari this one and then save the 2 stones. You can see that black's this group is cut off now. And this is sente and white connects. Black tries to attack these 3 stones, but white had a good eye shape over here already. If black tries to capture this 1 stone, then white would be connected to this side. If black blocks this one, white would just pull it off, and there's still weakness around here. And white's eye shape over here looks pretty good already. So in the actual game, black connected here, and that means if white pulls like this, then black would play here instead of having a stone on C9. But at this point, white plays a diagonal move because this one gives a better eye shape for white. If black harnessed, then white would block. White can't really do this because of that, but white can block this one, and this shape looks alive. Black cannot come out because of the cut. Black tried this one, but I could just block, and if black plays here, white would do this. In the actual game, black played here, and if white cut this one, black could capture the white stones, but white could play this one instead, and black couldn't connect this one because of the cut, and neither this one. So this white group is alive now. At this point, black tanuki it and save this one stone. But these black stones over here, it doesn't have that many liberties, and most over because this black group is already captured. Black can't really get much out of this. So black did that and then exchanged this. While I was playing here, I was looking very carefully about the shape around here. But luckily, it seemed like I could just Atari from this side. And if black comes out, then I would push this one and play like this. Black can't cut this one because white would come out. If black plays that, then white would hane this one. In the actual game, black tried this and that. The shape looks a little bit like ko, but actually when white came here, there was no ko. Black could exchange all that, but there was no way for black to leave. After that, this one doesn't work, and that one also doesn't work. And of course, this one also doesn't work. So there was no ko, and the capturing race was also not working because white had some hidden liberties, like here and that and that. And at this point, it was not working, so black resigned. So this was a game where black was playing so well, and the game was still early. But there was this one cutting point over here that black didn't see, and very abruptly, the game was over after that. So I think it shows the danger of missing something in Go. And that lesson is that you need to be careful. So that was the third game, and then let's go to the last game. In the last round, I played Austin, who is a high school student. He told me that he was working on a Go club in his school, and he seemed very excited about it. So I was very happy to meet him. And he was 3 done. I gave him 5 handicap stones. Let's look at the game. I started with approach, and then again this approach that I mentioned before. But this time black pincered, and I couldn't do that. So I double approached, and thinking if black goes out, I'll also go out, and I tried to make something. But black played here, taking the corner, very safe move. And I took this approach, and black pincered. So there's some pattern going on here. I would approach and approach, but then black would pincer. It happened twice already. And after that, I pincered over here so that I can somehow attack this one stone. Black plays here, which is somewhat slow. I understand that black wants to prevent white from connecting, but black can also do that by playing here. Black could actually exchange this pip first and then play that. And with that, white can't really connect, because if white tries, black can attach here first and attach that. You can see that white cannot connect. This would have been a better shape for black. This one was a little slow, but still okay because black has many more stones. And that's a good move. I had to connect, and black takes here, which is another good move. And here I'm looking at the board and thinking, oh, I don't know what to do. Because honestly, my group here and here and here are all weak. And black has so many stones. So I'm thinking maybe I should attack these 3 stones first. So I played here, which is rather confusing move. And I'm just trying to make something. And this pip here was such a good move because I could tell that if I connected here, black would attach this one. And I can't really save this one white stone. Like this, or even if black cuts here, I still can't save this one white stone. So if I lose this one stone, then I can't really attack this group, right? So I was feeling a little desperate, and that's why I connected this side. I was thinking maybe black would cut this one, and I'm not sure if this would be a good fight for me. I would still try. But white doesn't really have that many liberties. So I was a little nervous about this variation. But luckily black just connected that, and I pipped here and connected. But still, because black got this one space jump in center, that meant it was easier for black to go out to the center. Here black comes here, this is looking at the cut, which is center. And I had to connect, but before I connect, I wanted to make some center exchanges. One obvious thing I could do is to push this one, but black would connect, and after that there was still some weak points around here. And that's why I came here, and if black played around there, then I was thinking maybe I would do this and then cut. It might work something. I think what black could do is to pip here, which is center. Like this exchange would be good for black. And if white connect here, then black could make this fight. Like if I do that, then I think black can cut this one. Yeah, it works. So that would have been better for black. Actual game, black blocked here, which was my wish. And then I got to exchange all that. So I'm happy that I squeezed, but still when black pips here, I kinda have to connect, but then when black cuts over here, I feel like I'm a little weak. So I pip this one instead, and thinking about making the bamboo shape to make my group a little more better shape. At this point, I think maybe black was better off connecting because I was about to connect anyway. But black tenukis, and then I got to capture this one stone in center. Black had to leave here because otherwise white can get this corner. After this, there's no way black can leave. So black did that, and I saved this one stone, exchanged this, that, and saved this one stone. So the game is looking better. Now this group is somewhat more safe, and also this group, and I am saving this one. So the situation is better, but still black has more territory because black has the 2 corners, 3 corners, and the potential corner here. White doesn't really have big territory. Black jumps out, and I want to attack this black group. So I do this, and then black pushes here. This push was really good move because I didn't know how to respond to this. I spent quite some time here. Oh, if I didn't mention before, in this tournament we had 40 minutes base time with 20 seconds 5 times below me. So I was thinking about it, and then I decided I couldn't give up these 2 stones. For example, I could try to go out like this, but this would be really thick, and black's side over here can live actually with these 2, with this one or that one. It wouldn't be too difficult for black to live. So I wanted to save the 2 stones, but then when black kept pushing, I was being cut off over here and there, so I was feeling like in a big trouble. Here I wanted to somehow make sure that this black's not connected to this side, so I attached it here and then did that. So at least I could cut this one in center. And then here black played that to save this group. And before black connected here, it would have been good idea to exchange this one first. And then still that. The side is live, more or less, and that would force white to take this one. And then black could maybe play here, or even tenuki. Would have been slightly better, I think. In the actual game, black connected that and white blocked here. With this one, this white group is alive. And black connects. And I got sente. Here white shape is not too strong, so that's why black's attacking this white group. And I took the 1 stone. Actually, I'm not sure if this exchange was very profitable for black, because capturing this 1 stone would have been also nice. After this approach, maybe white would consider coming out. But actually, because this white group over here is not very strong, I kind of doubt that white would try to save this. So this could have been better choice for black. The actual game, I got to capture, and black was trying to attack this white while make sure that these 2 stones are not captured. Black exchanged this, which was not really necessary, and then extended here. Would have been better to just extend without the exchange, because after the exchanges, it was easier for white to do this double hane. If there was no white stone on d14, black could Atari this one and then connect here and then cut this way. That would have been quite good territory for black. In the actual game, black got this 1 stone and then I got the 1 stone here. White's shape is pretty good. It's as good as alive. And black's not really gaining much. Also here, I played that because white's Atari over here was sente and this group was not alive. And after that, there's this cutting point that's weak. Over here, black needs to come out like this. This one doesn't work because when white comes out, there's this cut and that cut. Black's only move was this, and then when white blocked this one, it's not very simple for black to save this one. This wedge wouldn't work because of that. And if black cuts over here, then white would come out. If black extends, white can come here. There's no net that works because of this cut. And if black tries something like this, then black could connect, but these two stones, the captured two stones, would be really good for white. And white can connect to this side to save this group. So this would be a good result for white. But it's a kind of the only way for black to save this center. So that means when white cut here, it's already kind of a little late for black. Black's already in trouble. In the actual game, the situation became kind of worse because black thought this connection was sente. And I think maybe that's why black pushed this fight all the way. Because if this was sente, then that means white shape over here is pretty weak, with this group not being alive. But this was not sente, so I played here, and now this black group is captured. And if black plays here, white has two eyes like this. Black has to play this one, but this one was sente. If black blocks here, then white can leave like this. And in the actual game, black played here, and when white pushes, this is still alive. If black blocks, white can connect like this. In the actual game, black played here to disconnect this to white. But of course, over here, white has enough eye space to live. I attach here to make this exchange before I leave. And black comes here to attack this group. But it's not really possible for black to kill this group because white has good eye shape. And also this black group is not 100% alive. Later, if things are not good, if this is all white, then white can separate this black group. And there's no two eye over here. So that's why it's difficult for black to really attack this white group. And in the actual game, white captured the two stones. And at this point, I think it's like too difficult for black to win this game. Over here, it's not easy to make good territory because black's weak over here and here. This group is not alive yet, and white's territory in this center is pretty good. So that was the last game. And yeah, so I won the tournament, the A division. I was very happy, but I was happier to meet the people and talk about Go, hear their stories and tell them about my stories, how I was in the Bay Area and all. It was also nice to meet some people that I've known for many years, but it was first time to see them again in the US, so that was nice. So yeah, that was my story from the Bay Area Go Spring Tournament in Berkeley. I hope you enjoyed my reviews and thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.